Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with this week's tarot reading for our ESFPs for the week of July the 27th through August the 2nd. We will be pulling 8 cards from the Divine Feminine, 8 cards from the Divine Masculine, in accordance with our 8 chakras, so that we can best understand how to manifest our highest timeline in accordance with Spirit. Before we begin, however, if this is the first time that you've seen my smiling face, or if you are unfamiliar with what the words things old or things new, tribe, flexible, and informative mean, I would suggest that you fall back and watch the video entitled Have You Been Doing MBTI Wrong? Because it is entirely possible that you have. With that being said, and now that we have our 2 shuffles on our cards, we're going to begin pulling with the base for the Divine Feminine. We have the 4 of Pentacles. In the sacral, we have the 4 of Wands. In the solar plexus, we are looking at the Lovers. In the heart, we have the Knight of Pentacles. In the throat, we have the Sun. In the third eye, we have the King of Pentacles. And in the crown, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. I forgot to mention the reversals. The 4 of Pentacles is in reverse, the Lovers is in reverse, the Heart is in reverse, and the King of Pentacles is in reverse. And then finally, rounding out our message from the Divine Feminine, on the bottom of the deck, we have the 9 of Cups in reverse. Next up, we will be pulling 8 cards from our Divine Masculine. The Divine Feminine tells us what the current situation is. The Divine Masculine tells us what steps and actions that we can take in order to fully realize, to turn some of these negative cards around into the right direction. We did a pre-meditation and a pre-shuffle, but I like to get 2 more shuffles just to make sure everything is exactly where it needs to be. Beginning with the crown, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. In the third eye, we have Death in reverse. In the throat, we have the Ace of Swords. In the heart, we have the 2 of Pentacles. In the solar plexus, we have the Chariot. In the sacral, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. And in the base, we have the Queen of Swords. And then rounding out our message from the Divine Masculine with the steps that we can take is the Ace of Wands in reverse. Let's dive in and see what the cards are telling us. We begin in the base because that is base existence. It is, do you have a home? Do you have a job? Do you have provision? These are the things that you do to ensure that you live. This is the area that is going to govern love and wrath. So either you are investing a little bit too much emotion into something, or not enough emotion is being returned to you. This is the area that is going to govern that. And for you in particular, as an ESFP, this is going to be governed by your future possibilities and foresight. All of the possibilities that you see as happening, you're just going to completely get them wrong because it's in your base. Today for you, we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, the 4 of Pentacles, when he is standing tall, is a contemplation card. This is about understanding because all 4s are understanding. This is about base provision, job, home life, that type of thing, because pentacles are body. It is quite literally dealing with the mortal coil. This is also dealing with financial matters. Pentacles represents finances in a very real way. And so for your current situation, you have something that you are not understanding about the earthly coil, about your job, about your provision, about your home life. There is something that you are not understanding. If it is standing tall, there is something that you are in the process of understanding. This is something that you need to understand that you are not. You are missing some key in this particular thing that you need to have in order to unlock. Now, clarifying with steps that you can take from the Divine Masculine here, we have the Queen of Swords. Swords is thoughts, ideas, and intellect. It is soul, it is air, it is about all of the upper things. Sorry about that, my dogs needed me for a minute. The Queen of Swords is about nurturing an idea. This is, you have just overcome the challenge. There is an idea that you need to put a little bit more energy into. In order to reach this understanding and flip this card around, there is an idea that you need to nurture. Now, this can be a communication, but it is probably an idea because it is related to this understanding. You can get understanding from this, but if if it was a communication incoming, I would expect a more active card. This is a not active card. This is a you have already overcome the challenges, and before we go into the harvest, I'm just going to rest for a minute. I'm going to throw out some fertilizer on my food or my crops before they reach the final stage of harvest. This is the last pause before the harvest comes in. And so this appears to be you have something left to understand. There is another thought that you're not considering or that you need to place more energy into. Next up, we're going to be moving to the sacral. The sacral is the area of generation. It is sexual generation. Yes, it's governed by lust and chastity, so it is the natural intrinsic part, but it's not all there is to it. You may be giving too much physical affection. You may be receiving or not receiving any physical affection. Neither one of those are necessarily good. For you in particular, the sacral is going to be governed by your personal thoughts and logic. You're just going to have a tendency to choose wrong because it's your trickster energy, the sacral and the trickster, the same thing. And so you're going to be misguided here, right? You're going to misinterpret the logic. It's going to be a yes-no question, and you're going to say yes when it should have been a no. That's just the general ESFPs, right? Your logic's not exactly correct. It's nothing personal. I have my own problems. You got your own. But in this particular area, right, this is not just sexual generation. This is also what you want to create in your life. So if you have a vision for a future that you are envisioning with your third eye, I want to start a business, I want to write a book, I want to make a movie, the things that you want to create in the world. This is where you actually put it into action. You envision it in your third eye, you put it into action in your sacral. You've got the Four of Wands. Now, wands are spirit, fire, life, light, and logos. It is the card of change. Quite literally the epitome of change. The Four is an understanding card, just like you got a Four of Pentacles. Now, this is in the upright position, which means that there is understanding, right? There is understanding currently unfolding. This is you still have some understanding to reach. It is in the negative position. In the positive position, you have the understanding. It's just about time to rise and meet the challenge, right? Once you have the understanding. This is a card of cooperation. This is a marriage card in the tarot. The Four of Wands, they have two people here between these four pillars, and these four pillars are crowned by a laurel. It is a celebration. This is generally looked at as a victory. It is looked at as a marriage type of a situation. But it is about understanding in the way that I intuitively interpret. This is a card of cooperation in large part. Now, in the sexual generation zone, this can be a marriage. It absolutely can. But it's not necessarily. This can be a business partnership. That is more likely in the readings that I do. I don't really do love readings. But love always plays a part in your life. So if it pops up, it pops up. But this is successful business ventures. This is understanding the steps that you need to take in order to make those ventures. And so this is an overall positive card. But what we have clarifying it with steps that you can take is to not nurture, right? The Queen, when it is upright, is about nurturing. It is, I have all of the things. I am resting before I go to the final harvest. I have put in all of the work. I have done the learning. I have done the understanding. I've risen. I've met the challenge head on. And now I am victorious. Now I am going to rest just for a minute before I cross the finish line. You have this in the reverse, which means that there is still some work left to do. This is Wands, so it is around change. Change, or the Wands, once again, are spirit, fire, life, light, and logos. This is the spirit of change. So there is an understanding of change happening here, and you need to get about it. You have overcome the challenge already. Now you need to get to nurturing it. You are not. Well, or you need to not nurture, right? This can be a little bit difficult because not nurturing is active participation, right? If you are not nurturing the thing, then you are actively doing it. And generally speaking, whenever there is an active needs to happen, it's going to be a 5 or a knight. That is the challenge. This is just past the challenge, right? If it was standing upright, the challenge is well in your past. You have overcome it, and now you're nurturing the energy. Since it is like this is probably, this understanding is coming from a challenge, and that challenge is being overcome, and while it is in the process of being overcome, is where you're learning this, and you're getting ready to walk into the Queen energy. This isn't the challenge is there and it's overwhelming you. It's not the challenge is there and it's not a challenge at all. This is you are on the back side of the challenge. That's at least the energy I'm getting from it right now. Let's see if there's some further communications and clarifications. Next up, we're going into the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is quite literally what changes your food into fuel. It's your stomach. Your base existence. Do you have a job, a home, and a car, or provision? That is fed by what you do in your solar plexus. Your vision of the future that you are trying to enact is fueled by this. For you in particular, the solar plexus is going to be governed by future feelings and ethics. How are other people going to feel about this in the future? And is this an ethical situation? Ethics are what other people have decided is right. Morals are what you have decided is right. This is the area that governs gluttony and temperance. So you may be over-consuming of the mortal coil. You may be not consuming enough of the mortal coil. Asceticism is highly overrated. You have the Lovers in reverse. Now, the Lovers, when it is standing tall, is a marriage card, just the same as this 4 is. This is a better iteration of it. This is a 6 card. It is an overcoming and a growth card, just like the Queen is. A nurturing energy of a sexual nature, possibly. This, in combination, seems to be intimating something about a relationship. Not necessarily negative, even though it is in a reverse. There is something about a relationship to understand. Now, you have this partnership currently unfolding that you do not need to gestate. You have an understanding that you're not getting about the earthly past that you do need to gestate an idea about. This is kind of a reiteration of both of these energies, right? There is an understanding here. There is a gestation here that is not happening. This is standing tall. These 2 people, they are naked, which means look behind, look past, look into the deeper meaning. There is an angel presiding over it. It is a perfect union. When it is like this, it's a little bit less of a perfect union. There is some discord, there is some resistance happening. Now, what we see clarifying with steps that we can take is the harvest, right? This is the Chariot. This is a sudden end. 7s are the end. It is a harvest. It is the completion of the path. This is a 7 card. This guy is sitting on his throne being pulled by both light and dark in equal measure. They are both yoked. They are both moving in the same direction. They are pulling you towards your goal. And so this appears to be a sudden change that is about to take place in a relationship. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything in particular. It doesn't have to be your marriage. It can be a business partnership. But there is a sudden change incoming, and it appears to be possibly that it is going to be of a breaking apart, right? We have the Lovers in reverse. This is what is fueling all of this change. So this understanding that you need to have is being fueled by this. And so there can be, you're giving too much consumption to this or not, right? But there is a sudden change in coming from the Chariot, and it is related to a relationship by the Lovers. Next up, we're going to be moving to the heart. Now, the heart is the things that you really want to do in your life. This is what you want to manifest. The as below, dealing with greed, and the as above, dealing with charity. This is the area that ties those together. It governs both greed and charity. These are what you really want to bring into your life. If you bring the as below in accordance with the as above, so below, through the heart, into the divine, that's where manifestation happens. This is what you are wanting to manifest in your life. It is the area that governs greed and charity. And for you in particular, the heart is going to be governed by SI. What has happened in the past and the organization of the best things. And so, you have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Now, when the Knight of Pentacles is standing tall, this is about rising to meet the challenge of understanding the earthly coil. He is sitting on his horse, but it is not moving. He is standing still. He is still rising to meet the challenge, however, because he is contemplating the world. What are the best steps to take in order to meet this best challenge? What are the things that I need to do next, right? This is going forth to meet the challenge. When it is in the reverse, it is the challenge is coming to you. This sudden change, it's coming to you from someone. This understanding has to do with an idea. This understanding has to do with change. This is saying that change is coming to you and that you are trying to manifest it. You are trying to bring about this change. It is in the area of your desires. Now, the Two of Pentacles, clarifying the steps that we can take, and I cannot get that card off the table for some reason, is about infinite possibilities, right? That is this. This is the choices of the mortal path. All of the choices laid out before you, they are infinite. That's why he has the infinite around him. You have to make a decision. You have to contemplate the world, right? This challenge that is coming in that you are not to rise to meet, but merely to meet. It has to do with the choice of the earthly path. There is some understanding of the earthly path that you do not have. You need a new idea for. This is that coming into fruition, right? This is feeding in just as much as this is feeding in. The right-hand path and the left-hand path are tied together. The middle path is tied together as well. And so this is feeding here and this is feeding down. This is a choice. This choice appears to be a greater understanding of this idea. Next up, we will be looking at the throat. The throat is the area of communication. It is the area that governs pride and humility. You may be taking a little bit too much credit for the work that is done. You may be giving away a little bit too much credit of the work that you have done. Neither one are particularly good. The throat for you is going to be governed by the best possibility and guidance, right? What do I see as the best way to go forward? Not all of the options, that is much deeper in your stack. The best. You're going to have a tendency to miscommunicate that because that is what the throat is about, right? It's about communication, but more often, if you are not balanced, it is about miscommunicating whatever it happens to be. Now, how this is going to play out for you is that you're going to see these options, right? But you're not seeing all of them. It's at the bottom of your stack. And so you're going to choose what you think is the best option, but you didn't see what was actually the best option. And so whenever you relay, I think we need to go in this direction, you're actually doing it wrong, right? There was another direction that was actually the best one. But you're trying, right? You are working at it. At least you make a decision. Some of the other people just don't do that. For you, what we have in the throat is the sun. The sun is all of the good things, right? This is the 19 card. This is 2 cards away from completion of the entire deck. In 2 more steps, you have all of the world. But right now, this is the manifestation card. This is communicating about that manifestation, right? You see there is a naked baby riding a horse. Naked means look beyond the normal. Look into a deeper meaning. See what is behind the obvious, right? This is a communication area, so there is going to be a good communication coming. This communication's probably got something with this idea that needs to be gestated, since we have this card that we're going to get to in just a second. This is a triumphant card. This is one of the most positive cards in the entire deck. The only card that you can really pull that is any better than this one is the world. It is the culmination, the end of all things, the best harvest that you can possibly imagine. This is the second best card in the deck. And so for you, this communication is going to be overwhelmingly positive, even if it doesn't appear to be at the beginning. And that is clarified by this Ace of Swords, right? Swords are air, it is spirit, or soul, and it is thought. It is ideas, and it is communication. You have a communication card in the communication spot. This is a brand new communication. That's why it's an ace. Oh, look, there's a path over here. I wonder if I can take it. This is what this is. There is a communication about this path, and it is going to bring about the sun, right? The current situation is the sun, and so this is going to bring about the fullness of it. This is beginning. This communication is just about to happen. This is coming in. This is going to clarify these things. This is going to give you that step, that piece that is missing with this queen down here at the bottom. Next up, we will be looking at the third eye. The third eye is where you envision your future. It is you quite literally looking through your brain into the future. This is the area that is going to govern sloth and diligence. Are you working hard toward your goals, or are you just sitting around kicking it all day? I don't know. You tell me. For you, this is going to be governed by other people's thoughts and rationale. So you are going to have a tendency to get defensive over what other people say. You're going to have a tendency to rely upon the experts to tell you what to think. That can be a great thing if the experts are well informed, but there can be a tendency here to listen to the wrong experts. It's just down far enough in the stack where you're not doing the sorting between it. Other people are, but you're getting this information and you're relaying it, and then it's not right and you're getting mad. You're like, bullshit, it's right. You have the King of Pentacles, right? Now the King of Pentacles, and when it is upright, is about mastery of the path. This is the culmination. This is the harvest. This is the end of the path of Pentacles. You're not quite there yet. Pentacles is the earthly coil. This is money. This is home. This is provision. This is a job. All of those things are tied up in Pentacles. The King is the mastery of that path, right? What you are envisioning for your future is being that master, but you're not quite there yet. Right? There is still some steps that need to happen prior to you doing this. And what needs to happen? What needs to happen, the actions that you can take coming from our divine masculine, is death in reverse. Now, death in reverse is an uncontrolled change. This is something happening and you don't have control of it. It's equivalent as the tower. That is a little bit less of a striking effect, or more of a striking effect than the tower. The tower is a little bit less intense than this, but it is still quite intense. You see he is riding on his triumphant white horse, walking into the future with his banner held high. He's got the face of death on. Behind him, on the ground, is the old authority, the king on the ground, the emperor, dead. In front of him is the brand new supplicants, the people who are coming to him for the victory, right? This is a 13 card, and 13 is going to be overcoming the challenge, nurturing in the way that the queen is. And so, in order to turn this King of Pentacles around to reach the mastery of the path, which you want, right? You are trying to bring about this. You're going to have to allow the change to happen. This new idea is coming in, and it's going to be something that you're going to have to sit on for a minute. It's going to have something that you need to understand. There is understanding still coming. It's bringing about change. You're going to have to embrace that change. There is still some challenge left to it, but not a whole lot. This is overcoming almost, right? When it's standing upright, it is overcoming. When it is upside down, there is still a little bit left to do. You have not quite reached the victory. You need to. Now, this, when it is standing tall, is an active card. You are to take actions to put an end to something. You are to take actions to put the death onto something. Now, that's not kill something. That is kill a bad habit. Kill something in your past that needs to go away. This is the opposite of that. This is maintain the current situation. If you want to turn this around, maintain in the middle of this change, because this is change, but it is you overcoming the change by not being too active. Not to say not to take any participation, but not to be too active. Next up, we have the crown, and the crown is the area of responsibility. You take the message from the divine, you interpret it through your crown. For you, the crown is going to be guided by your past feelings and morals. How has this made me feel in the past, and is it a moral situation? Morals are what you think about the thing. Ethics are what other people think about the thing. So you feel responsible for acting within your morals and for making sure that you are going to feel good in the situation. This is the area that deals with hope and despair. So this is an especially important spot for you, right? Hope and despair is intricately tied into feelings, and this spot is about your feelings. Now, fortunately for you, this is the crown. This is where you do most things correct. About 70%, you hit it out of the park. At 30%, it's a swing and a miss, and it's pretty significant when it happens. But for the most part, you do this part correctly. What you have in this position is the hanged man in the reverse. Now, when this hanged man is hanging correctly upside down, this is about a self-imposed new perspective. He has put himself on this cross, Right? He has hanged himself so that he can achieve the new perspective of looking at things in a different light. You see, his head is crowned with the understanding. He has one foot tied behind him, and that is implicating infinity. This is looking at all of the infinite possibilities and changing the perspective in order to accommodate them. This is kind of hanging on to your ideas, right? This is don't look for a new perspective. You are getting from the divine that you already have I don't want to say understanding, because there's quite a bit of understanding still left to unlock, but you kind of know where this direction is going, right? You don't need to change your perspective on this. And we have clarifying that with actions that we can take. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Now, well, in reverse. When it is standing tall, this is about nurturing right before the harvest of all of the earthly things. This is the step right before the King of Pentacles. You have risen to meet the challenge. You have already done the things. We've seen that with the Queen and the Queen here. This is what, the third Queen? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got 3 queens up here. We got a sword, we got a wand, and a pentacle. That's a lot of stuff going on. When it is standing tall, this is about nurture the energy. This is about you're already on the right path. You have just risen and met the challenge. In this particular area, with the according of the hangman perspective being in the reverse, this is kind of saying that you need to maintain, right? This is maintain. So there is some change happening, but it is tied to this understanding. This new idea that is coming in with this sword that you're going to have to gestate is leading into this. This action that you can take is going to be to nurture when the challenge has been overcome. And finally, we're going to get to our divine message. This is the message directly from the Spirit without you interpreting it. This feeds directly into that. It is not guided by the virtues and vices, but for you, your particular ESFP superpower is all of the current things in exploration. It is what are the new experiences, right? I want to go out here and do these things. You do that easily, right? You are always finding a brand new something to get into, whether it is going for a road trip or a specific destination or just random rambling, or whether you are going for a specific restaurant, right? You know where to go to find a new restaurant, right? Not the best restaurant, a new one. We've never eaten here before. Let's try that. That's the energy that you really reside in, and you're really good at it. Finding new experiences for you is wonderful. Now, you have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is about emotional not being, or when it is upright, it is about emotional fulfillment, right? He is sitting here in authority, looking into the future with all of the emotions behind him. Cups are about emotions. I don't know that we've had a cup yet. Cups are body spirit. It is about the interpersonal relationships. It is about spousal relationships, familial relationships, co-worker relationships, general friendships. But it is about the emotional connection of them, the feelings associated with them. Not necessarily the physical side of things, but the more emotional side of things. The Nine of Cups is about making a greater choice. You have the harvest of the 7, you've seen the new path of the 8, and now you are making a choice about it. There is a choice for you not to make. Again, we have that already. Don't make the choice when it is presented to you. That is what Spirit is telling you about the current situation. This is an emotional choice. There is something emotionally unfulfilling about this choice, but yet you are not to be making it. And that is reiterated by the action that we can take. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Again, Wands is spirit, fire, light, logos, and change. And so this can represent any of those, but it is a brand new one. This is a new path, right? The 1 is the new path, but you have it in the reverse, which means that it is not up to you to unlock this new path. If it was like this, the new path is being presented to you and you're about to have to make a choice about it. This, in conjunction with this don't make a choice, leads me to believe that maybe there is some more information that needs to be relayed, right? We've got this Ace of Swords. That can be a communication coming in, a new thought, a new idea. We have the Two of Pentacles, which is making a choice, but it is clarified by not rising to meet the challenge. And so we have the emotional unfulfillment with the 9 in reverse. And then we have the Ace of Wands, which is a new opportunity being presented for change in the reverse. And so this is a little bit of a stagnant energy. This is things aren't changing quite as fast as you want them to with the emotional unfulfillment. This new thing is something that you don't recognize. You don't recognize this new path is a very good interpretation for the Ace of Swords in reverse, for the Ace of Wands in reverse. That's going to bring us to the end of the message, and hopefully I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion. If you like what I'm doing over here, let me know down below. Give me a like, a share, a follow, throw me a comment if you agree or disagree with anything that was stated. Put it in the box down below, and if it remains respectful, it gets to remain up. If you are a reader with a different interpretation, you are more than welcome to tag that in the bottom as well. Everybody is welcome as long as it is respectful. If you really like what I'm doing over here, hit me with that super thanks. Consider joining for a membership or picking up a copy of my book where I teach you to do magic responsibly and how MBTI actually works. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. And this has been Pitt State. Peace.